Keep it simple and scruffy. So recently someone was asking me about my views on shredding, which is basically sort of clawing at the face. And it's okay, but if we have the fence properly and we learn how to throw a shot off the fence, it shouldn't be getting that far really. Um, Obviously, mistakes do happen. As the great Dave Turton said, even monkeys fall out of trees. But what I found is there's a lot of people out there within the self-defense who might be getting bored with the simple scruffy stuff that works. So you get someone you go, right, well, from basic stance, a tie roundhouse kick to the leg works beautifully. Take the step out, you bring your hips over when they're locked, bottom part of the shin of the kicking leg hits the leg, boom, beautiful kick. Get people to drill that over and over and over and over, and then someone will say, what about spinning back kick? What about it? It's not one of the go-to kicks for a self-defense situation. It's too flashy, there's too much that could go wrong with it. But that's what people want to learn, because the scruffy stuff that works doesn't look good, to be honest. Um, if you watch boxing, you usually see sort of two people just sort of going, and then one of them falls down. It's not a beautiful, crisp shot like you get in the films. Judo has always been on for me with this. It looks like two people on a mat doing this for a bit. Then they'll come in and hug each other and do all this. Then there'll be a huge sort of spin in the air. They both hit the deck. One person gets up and goes, woo! And the other person goes, oh. And you're just watching going, I have no idea what the hell just happened there. We expect the techniques that work to be crisp and beautiful in textbook, like they get demonstrated in films. That's not what happens. It's the short, simple, scruffy stuff that works. So if you go in to a self-defense situation expecting to be shown really flamboyant spinning back kicks and tornado kicks and jumping kicks, that's not going to be taught on any decent self-defense syllabus. The reason being is that the flashier they are, the more potential there is for something to go wrong, the longer they take to both learn and execute. Again, my belief with self-defense is that it should be for everyone. So the Arbed syllabus has pretty much been put together for the non-martial artist. It's someone who doesn't have the time, the money, the inclination to spend week after week after week in a class before they can learn something. It's someone who wants to learn something in 15 minutes that will keep them much, much safer because they either live in a bad area or their work puts them in front of bad people. With that in mind, it's the short, scruffy stuff that works. When it comes to punches, a right cross, left hook. Or obviously depending on your stance, crosses and hooks work beautifully. Cross always, with judo, there's judo is a really good martial art for self-defense, but none of the flamboyant sacrifice throws. It includes in the name sacrifice. Steer clear. Simple stuff. Very simple stuff. With kicks, tie roundhouse kick, front snap kick, usually delivered to the groin. It's very simple stuff. Elbow strikes. Our elbow strikes usually come across. Nothing coming over or coming up under, just coming across. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy. A lot of the stuff we teach would not look good on the film screen. Is the simple fact. It wouldn't really. If it was a film that was designed for realism and to be gritty, then yeah, it would. If it was a big Hollywood blockbuster, you wouldn't really get the Avengers films asking me to choreograph stuff for them because it wouldn't work. It's ugly, nasty looking, dirty looking, scruffy stuff that works. And it's usually the scruffy looking stuff that's the simplest. And it's usually because it's so simple, which is why it works. So, when you get people saying, "Can you teach me a spinning back kick to the head," or I believe in Taekwondo it's called a hook kick, where you sort of bring the leg up and the ankle comes, or the heel, excuse me, comes to kick him. It's like, yeah, okay, great, that's a great kick to learn if you want to show off. But at the minute, I'm still trying to get you to have your feet planted properly in a boxer stance. You want to learn how to do a Tayatoshi, which is a body drop, which is a great judo throw. But you're not paying attention to me when I'm telling you how to move your feet properly so you don't trip yourself over. It's the basics that win fights. That's the truth. It's the absolute basics that win fights. So I'll give you a quick story that Tony Robbins uses. Tony Robbins being the self-help guy. He was doing golf and he was with a golf pro and he's taking golf lessons. And he hits the ball and he's aiming for straight ahead. The ball ends up about 50 yards that way. Not what he wanted. The golf pro says, "Oh, you're about a millimetre off." I'm clearly not. The flag's there. My ball's 50 to 80 yards over that way. I'm clearly more than a millimetre off. When you hit the ball, if the club is hitting directly, the ball goes in a straight line, goes where you want it to. If your club is slightly off, it goes, the ball is now going to go that way. So a millimetre's difference at the starting point will give you hundreds and hundreds of yards difference when it finishes at the ending point. So if you can get the basics of holding the club properly so it's straight, you get on the green. If you don't know how to hold the club properly and you keep hitting at an angle, you end up hundreds of yards away from where you want to be. Also a pretty damn good analogy for life, I think. If you've got the starting point right, that's the base. So just for anybody who's learning stuff and they think it's boring or they think it's dull and like, why are we going over this? You need the basics before you do anything else. If I teach you how to pop a hip to then bring your body around for a punch or a hand shot, if I haven't told you how to put your feet properly and you've got your feet stood square in line when you throw it, even though you're trying to pop the hip, you're still just hitting with the strength of your arm. If I give you the basics of the stance first, so your feet are staggered, then when you pop the hip, you're driving all of your body weight behind that shot. So although it might seem boring and dull and basic, it is basic. Boring and dull is an opinion, but it's needed. Yeah. You can design a house and you can say, I want a gym over there, I want a games room over there, I want an indoor pool and an outdoor pool, and I want this and I want that. That's great. The first thing we've got to do is dig down so that you've got a decent foundation to support the whole thing. So although it's quite it's quite boring and dull, it's basic, but it's needed. It's the most important part of the whole thing. Any questions or comments on this? Let me know. Any comments, negative or positive, thumb up, thumb down, whatever. It's all interaction. Let me know. It does. I don't like the idea of people going off and having conversations amongst themselves with this and not letting me either explain myself further or asking me what it is exactly if you don't get it. Maybe you do get it and you just don't agree. Whatever. It's all interaction. It's all good. It's all starting a conversation about self-defense, practical self-defense, real self-defense that will work for people. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and train hard and stay vigilant.